how to drop the bombs during SC2 push and beyond. All right, even you don't have to wait till SC2. You can use some stuff this week as well.
Okay.
But this is somebody, guys, who has a birthday coming up, by the way. July 7th. And this is somebody, guys, who I've seen grow, but also shrink. He's lost about 100 pounds over the last year or so. That's pretty cool, by the way. When I say 100 lbs, I'm not kidding. I'm talking like a third of him is Gonzo. 1/3 of it.
Okay. I lost like a 9-year-old.
By the way, guys, that in itself says a lot about a person. That's not easy to do. Right? He lost about 100. I think I found about 20 of them. But anyway, he's somebody who's a close personal friend of mine. Somebody who's really, he's like a little brother to me, even though I'm older than that, but he's like a little brother to me. Somebody who really cares about his people. You know, I mean, he works hard, and he cares about his people's success. And you'll see this at SC2, guys. When you're from South Charlotte and you get a trophy, he enjoys that more than himself winning a trophy.
True.
He just does. And that's kind of a key ingredient of a lot of really good leaders, that you have to care about your people. But a lot of our CSPs and stuff are out this week, out of town and stuff, and they're going to come back and go hard for SC2. But I told Bryan this a few weeks ago when I was planning out this meeting. I was like, hey, it's, our CSPs and everything, Laura's the only one that can make it. I go, for this breakout, it's going to be you and I. He's like, you got this. He goes, I got this anyway. He goes, I taught Harry how to run this workshop anyway. He goes, I got this. And it was one of those things like that. It wasn't like, okay, it's extra work for us. No, I mean, it was like, let's do it, man. I'm excited with this. Right? When I delegate stuff to CSPs, that's fine, but I'd rather be in here with it. And that's the way he is. And so he's going to go over how to drop bombs, how to make sure we're ready to go for SC2. And then what I'm going to do is pass out the schedule. I'm going to talk about how you create your list, how you strategically plan it out. Then we'll go over there. We're going to hear about the main event from him. We'll get everybody signed up for SC2 and that event. That's awesome. And then we'll wrap it up and get you out of here. And we'll go sell some blades, next 10 demos, build some momentum, have a great 4th of July, and then it's on big time. Cool. Let's give it up to Mr. Bryan.
All right, gang. So let me start by saying this. Some of you in the room are like a couple, I know for a fact there's a couple fast starters from my training class that launched on Saturday who are here, and you literally just sat through a high flyers workshop where the exact document I'm going to pass out is the document that we used during the high flyers workshop. If you've heard a how to sell signatures and ultimates talk, if you recently went through a workshop that is similar to this, okay, cool. My challenge for you is this. My challenge to you is this. Can you pull something new out of the message? You got to realize, I've been doing this for almost 10 years. And every single one of these meetings that I come to, I get something new. It's my 10th time doing it, or more maybe. But every single time I get something new when I do it. I'll also say this. I thought it was your foot, Shane. I was going to say, God, I'm sorry for that. I'll also say this. And Kate's going to hate that I'm calling her out like this, but Kate Higdard's in the back. And I tell you what, if everyone took notes in this room like Kate is taking notes, there's no doubt in my mind that they would sell $10,000 to $20,000 or more for the SC2 push. That girl is hungry to learn. She's taking notes like crazy. I challenge you to take more notes than her. You're probably not going to do it, okay? She's nailing it. But I tell you what, if you came here with that kind of aggressiveness towards your learning today, I'm going to tell you, you're going to walk away with some gold. That's going to seriously impact your results here. And I'll just tell you, we're talking about dropping bombs, right? We're talking about how to sell signatures, how to sell ultimates. What this push comes down to, and what this message, this instructional message comes down to, is one thing, and I want you to write this down, and that's belief. Belief. Right? Okay, so I'll tell you this. By a show of hands, how many of you in here have sold an ultimate set? So, it's about 50-50. And I'll tell you this. The ones who haven't, once you do, it's like opening the floodgate. How many of you have sold a signature set? A lot more of those. How many of you sold a homemaker set? Almost every single person. Right? Have you sold a couple more since you sold the first one? Quite a few probably, unless you're brand new. I'll tell you right now what it is belief. Right? I remember my very first demo I went to. My manager talked about expectation creates reality during my training seminar. And I remember my very first demo was with a lady named Miss Ball. She was a next door neighbor. She loved our family. I'd known us for like 10 years. I used to babysit her kids. I sold her popcorn every single year. Chris and I are both Eagle Scouts. I sold her popcorn every single year. That stuff sucks, so you know someone's nice if they buy that. I'm being real, okay? There's about that stuff is terrible. She had a boat, detached garage. Okay, like this was the right customer. And I remember I went and did the demo, and I read the white manual literally the entire time. I might have looked at her in her eyes like maybe 3 times. Right, I read, look up, smile. And we're cutting a bunch of food. That's one thing I always did. I always cut a lot of food. And you guys can probably tell I'm a very enthusiastic person. I have a lot of natural energy, and that's what I brought to demos. I wasn't a great sales rep. I guarantee there are 90% of you in this room are better as a sales rep skill set than I was. I was just really fired up. And I remember I did the demo. I get to the very end. I said, hey, do you want to go get the homemaker set and receive the kitchen tools and the super cheers for free? And I was looking down. I remember I looked up. And I nodded and smiled. Like my manager taught me. She sat there. She thought about it. She went like this. Yeah, you know what? I do. And I remember I go, really? Don't do that. That's not the right reaction. I didn't expect it to happen. Right? Obviously. Really? Don't do that. She's like weirded out. She was like, yeah. I'm so fired up. I called my manager. I'm like, God, they're buying something. he's like, yeah, dude. I'm like, no, you don't get it. They're buying the homemaker, dude. He's like, yeah, man, that's the most popular set since 1949. That's what most people can. We sell 17,000 every year. Do you have a question? I'm like, no, I just want to tell you to buy it. He's like, okay. Why don't you get recommendations and call me back? And I remember moving forward from that demo, I was like, holy shit. People buy homemakers. And you know what my expectation was moving forward? That everyone's going to buy a homemaker. That was, and I'm not just telling you that, that was my real expectation. My real expectation was that every single person I went and did that before was going to buy a homemaker. Now, my parents was my next appointment. They bought a Galley Plus 6. My grandmother was my next appointment. She bought a basic homemaker in trays. She had owned Cutco for over 50 years, and I went and showed it to her. Or Shearer still cut the penny. So badass. And I remember, and I sold a couple of them in a row. And then I remember my first demo where someone did get the homemaker, and I was like, you don't want this one? Hold on. So you want something else? You want like something smaller? And I was just so confused because that first demo shaped my expectations, shaped my belief system. Okay? So no amount of instruction that I'm going to give you over the next 5 minutes, or over the next 30 minutes, whatever, it's not going to matter unless your belief structure is in the right place. Does that make sense? Okay. Now I'll tell you, right before I walked into this meeting, I had a young man named Michael in our training class. He has orientation at Ole Miss today and tomorrow, so he couldn't make it to the meeting. But he was doing a demo right before he left, and he called me, sold an ultimate, six sets of table knives. and gave him like 2 things for free, something like that, you know. And I hear some of you like, oh my God. And you see me, and I'm saying it very casually. It's because I've been doing this for 10 years, and I see it happen all the time. Expectation creates reality. What I tell sales reps in training is everything in life happens twice. It happens right here first, and then it happens in real life. Nothing you don't fully expect to happen will. Okay? I'll tell you this. I played baseball for a very short period of time because I was really shitty at baseball. And I remember, you know what I hated doing? I hated batting, man. You know, I should have liked it too. I should have liked it. I'm a big dude. I should have been a power hitter, right? And I freaking hated it because every single time I got up there, well, on the pitching machine, no problem. No problem. Pitching machine, I got that under control. But then there's a kid named Jeremy Timmons. And Jeremy Timmons, in 7th grade, was throwing heat. Okay? Jeremy Timmons in 7th grade was throwing like a 70-mile-an-hour fastball. Okay? He was throwing some heat. And I remember getting into the batter's box the first time I was pitching against him. I remember how fast the ball came into the glove. I was like, from that point on, I was like, I'm not going to be able to hit this kid. And every single time I got up to bat, it wasn't just that I couldn't hit him. My expectation was that what? I'm not going to be able to hit this kid. You know, expectation creates reality. So, first thing I want to do before I move on to the instructional portion of the handout, I need everyone to stand up real quick. I see everyone with a 2:30 feeling on their face. Okay, stand up, stand up. All right, everyone get out of your chairs. What I want you to do is, first of all, do the out of bed stretch. You know, the one that you do first thing in the morning. Yeah, it feels really good. Doesn't that feel good? Oh my God. All right, what I want you to do is find someone on the other side of the room really quickly right now. Eye them down. Go up and tell them, give them a huge high five. Tell them they're a rock star. Do it now. Go. Okay. Find someone else. Give them a high five. Tell them have a huge SCQ more. All right, let's grab some seats. Grab some seats. I feel way better. Feeling good. Okay. Yeah, I get into those. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I get really into the high fives. I'm just gonna tell you, if I'm giving you a high five, my goal is to make your hand hurt. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. I like make it my mission. I'm like, both of our hands are going to sting after this. Okay. You feel better? All right. I do want you to take a lesson from that. Okay, here's the lesson. Motion creates emotion. Motion creates emotion. Okay, so in the morning, when you come for an alliance meeting, if you're feeling low energy, what do? You move around. Okay? Here's another thing. When you need energy, give energy. When you need energy, give energy. What you need, you have to give. Okay? When you need love, give love. I'll tell you this, anytime I'm frustrated in our business, like anytime I'm pissed off about something, you know what I do? That's one of the things. That is one of the things. The other day, I remember I was so pissed, and I told you guys this story. I went and sweat out, and I didn't know what I was pissed about. Here's another thing I do. When I'm frustrated, I call someone, and I pour into them. When I'm pissed about something, or if something's frustrating me, I give someone a call, and it's like completely random out of the blue, typically, and I'll just tell them how awesome they are, how much I enjoy working with them, you know, and I'll pour into that person. And what happens is that person responds with a lot of authenticity, and it's a very genuine reaction to my words, and it automatically gets me back in a place where mentally and emotionally I'm good. You know, so I just start off with telling you that because, you know, there are going to be demos where you drop bombs. And there are going to be demos where you sell dog shit. And you get 0 wrecks. And you drove 45 minutes to get to the demo. I promise that will happen. Multiple times. Not just once, like a lot of times. And I tell you those things to give you some tools to help you emotionally manage. Okay? So I ask my training class this every single week right before they walk out of the door. What set of cupcake are you going to have in your house one day? That's me too. I have it actually. It's sitting on my countertop right now. Actually, we just it's official. We did bring down the SC1 push record, so I got a brand new Ultimate with steak knives, cherry blocks, candles. Super hot. Yeah, really stoked about that. So excellent job, team. So I'll tell you this. You know, in my mind, sales reps with Cutco are going to have one of 2 sets in their house. Right? 1, signature. 2, ultimate. Any sales rep with Cutco damn sure is going to have a homemaker set. Here's what you can start. I need you to move. By the way, here's what's cool about this message. I'm going to teach you how to sell ultimates and signatures. What's going to happen is you're accidentally going to sell homemakers because of it. And you're going to look at the galley set and be like, this is the smallest freaking set of Cutco that stores that we make. Okay? What you need to really move into an ultimate and a place where you're selling ultimates and signatures on the majority of the demos, here's the first step. The homemaker is what? Nothing. It is nothing. Okay, how many years are these people going to cook for out of their lifetime? At least 20, 30, 40 years. And think about this. The homemaker is 7 knives. That's what it is. 2 forks and 1 spatula spreader. Does that sound like enough for any family that you know? No. If they're a family that eats out every single meal, and they cook at the house maybe once, maybe twice a week, okay. I'll tell you this. When I was in college, my roommates and I had a homemaker +8 in our house. Can I tell you something? We were a bunch of 18-year-old kids. That block was never full. Ever. There was always either knives in the dishwasher or knives in the sink. They're in the freaking sink. Because they're college kids. Okay? Never full. We were 4 college guys. We weren't cooking every night. So the first thing you need to wrap your head around is I know a lot of you see the homemaker, right? And you look at that big-ass page in your book. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, damn, that's a lot. That's a lot. Let me ask you a real question. I really want you to think about your parents. All their butter knives, all of their steak knives, and all the knives in that one drawer. You know the drawer I'm talking about. And all the knives inside that drawer. Put a number on how many knives are in your parents' kitchen right now. I would say this. I would venture to say this. Your parents have at least 10 butter knives and at least 10 steak knives. That's 20 knives right there. So we're, in all reality, we're probably talking about a minimum of 30, if not 40 or more. What it means is the homemaker as a 10-piece set is 1/3 of the size of the knives that your parents already have in your kitchen drawer. You understand that the homemaker +8, if you get the block, it fits on half of this sheet of paper. I'll tell you right now, some of you are selling homemakers to customers who live in these big, beautiful homes, right? How many of you went to a beautiful home, immaculate, beautiful house, beautiful kitchen, big, nice-ass car, sold them a homemaker? Yeah. You were fired up, right? You were like, hell yeah, homemaker. Let me tell you, that homemaker does not match their house. That homemaker looks weird. Because if they have the $7,000 Viking range, and the $10,000 Sub-Zero fridge, and the $55,000 Lexus, and the $5,000 furniture set for their living room, And the $4,000 television, the 60-inch, flat screen, super thin, right? That homemaker doesn't match. That homemaker looks weird. Does that make sense? Yeah. The first thing you have to get through your head is that the homemaker is for who? Let me tell you who the homemaker is for. The homemaker is for people, family sizes of 3 to 4. Mom, dad, and 1 or 2 kids. Mom, dad, 1 or 2 kids. Is the homemaker for folks who like to cook? No. Is it for folks who like to entertain? No. Is it for folks who like nice things? No. It is for people who don't like to cook. If someone's like, Bryan, kitchen stuff, we never cook. I'm like, perfect. We have the perfect set for you. It's a basic set. It's the standard for the American family. It's this big. 7 knives, 2 forks, and a spatula. It'll get you by. Look how I talk. Let me do that. I'm going to do that one more time. I want you to watch. Don't listen to the words. The words are very simple. I want you to watch my nonverbals. Okay? Yeah, Miss Jones, listen. Yeah, she's like, Bryan, we never cook. I'm like, listen, I totally understand. I have a perfect set for you. It's the homemaker. 7 knives, 2 forks, and a spatula. It's not going to get you by. Acting like it's what? Nothing. When you do a demo, if you're doing a kick-ass demo, your customer should think they only manufacture 3 sets of Cutco. What sets are those? Never call it an ultimate ever again. Stop right now. Okay, moving forward, you can call the ultimate set one of 2 things. 1, the large set, or 2, the complete set. But never again is it the ultimate. When you the ultimate set of cutlery. Customers are like, holy shit, get that thing away. Is that a Decepticon? Is that going to I don't want that, right? Okay? It's never an ultimate. It's either the complete set or the large set. Okay? You have that customer who loves to cook. There's only 1 set you sell her. What set is that? And I just tested you. Very good. I just want to speak about tests really quickly. Larry mentioned a second ago, he was talking about handling objections on the phone, right when the customer doesn't take your 1 of 2, like you offer 2 times, they don't take 1 of them immediately. Let me tell you something about successful people. Successful people like me, you know what we like to do? We like to fucking test people. That's what we like to do. James Rowley does that. I test him in training. Because I do a holdback of typically my top 50% of training, and then I do a holdback after that with a couple more people. It's a very small group, typically. And I remember James walked out of training one day, and he was not one of the ones that I chose for the second of the holdback. So I held him back with the group, top 50%, and then there was a few people that I held back after that. And James was not one of those people. And I remember James called me and was like, dude, why didn't you hold me back? What was that thing? What were those other 4 people in there? Why wasn't I in there? I'm like, congratulations, dude. You passed the test. See, successful people, they want to know how bad you really want it. And that's why when you ask for the sale on the Homemaker Plus 8, the signature set, the complete set, the most successful folks that you're going to go show Cutco to, they're going to test you. They're going to say, no. We don't need it. We don't need all this. We can't afford it. They're testing you. They're asking you how about, the top firms on Wall Street, top financial firms, they don't offer jobs. You go in for an interview, and they say, okay, great. Thanks for your time. You know what they do? They only hire people who can do what? Call and say, hey, did I get the job? You haven't called me yet. Did I get it? They never call people back. Ever. Goldman Sachs, they're not calling you. They're going to interview you. They're going to tell you, we'll call you. And they don't call. Because you know who they want? They want sharks. They want wolves. They want hunters, not farmers. They want people who go out and get. That's who they want. So understand this. Many times when you ask for that sale, and that customer's unsure, they're sure. You know what? Let's be real. They're sure. Let's be real. We're all sure about one thing. You know what that is? They want it. They want it. You know what else we're sure about? They're going to love it. We're also sure that they can afford it, and we're also sure they're going to use it every single day for the next 20, 30, 40 years. The one thing they're not sure of is how bad you really want that sale, and that's why they give you an objection. Because let's be real, they didn't really want the knives. What did they tell you? Listen, dude, we just don't want the knives. You know? Have any of you ever heard that, Bryan, the knives out? We just don't want the knives. You're not. And it doesn't matter how long you work here, you're never going to hear it. But you will hear a lot. We can't afford it. We're unsure. Call me back next week. We'll get it then. Why the hell would they get it next week and not get it now? One reason. They are testing you. As a salesperson, when a salesperson in another industry asks me for the sale on the first time, you know what I always do? Never once do I say yes on the first try. Never once. I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't planning on spending that much. Oh. Yeah, but. And I want to see if they're going to handle my objection. Because I'll tell you right now, objections, they're a sign of interest. That's what they are. They're a cry for help. Because if they didn't want it, they would just say, hey, listen, we don't want it. We don't want the knives. We're not going to use them. Okay? So, your belief structure. The complete set, I'll say right now, I'm 25 years old. I turned 26 on the 7th. I don't cook. I don't cook all that often. I meal prep a couple times a week. You know, if Alexandra comes over, maybe I'll throw some stuff in the oven. I'll throw some stuff on the grill. I'm not a gourmet chef. I have a complete set of cooking. I'm 25 years old. So if you're really going to tell me that a family who has 3 or 4 kids and cooks 5 nights a week doesn't need a complete set, you're outside of your mind. You're outside of your mind. Right now, my ultimate set does not, my complete set does not have the whole set filled. There's missing pieces right now. They're in the dishwasher. Okay? So, your belief structure. Okay? In my mind, when I was showing Cutco to families, I was never going to sell a set smaller than what? Homemaker plus 8. That was the minimum. Now, in today's day and age, you guys have a leg up on me. You know what that is? You have a signature. You know why we call it a signature? That is our signature. That is what we are known for. It's called the signature because it's the best damn set of Cutco that we make. And that's why Cutco's signature is the signature set. We came up with that set in 2010. And up until 2010, the Homemaker Plus 8 was the most popular selling set of Cutco since 1949. We sell 17,000 of them every year. Since its inception in 2010, and since we adopted it to the product line, the signature set has outsold the home. That is the best selling set of Cutco that we make.
Bryan, say that again. How many homemakers we sell a year?
17,000 of them every year.
Can we start saying that the signature is the most popular?
Absolutely. I would say, Michelle, out of these 3 sets, I sell this to people every now and then that don't really cook that much, and I sell this to people that cook a lot and love to cook. This is the most popular set I sell. This is the set for families, for just like yours.
Or it's not you to say we sell.
Right, yeah. In my opinion, there's not a better set of Cutco that we make than a signature set. That's just my opinion. You have all the basic tools, all the most popular tools since 1949. We have the 3 most customer-requested tools that we make. You have cheese knife. That's the best knife that we make, in my opinion. Not a better knife than a cheese knife. I freaking love that. Hardy slicer, right then and there, very easy. Miss Jones, you're talking to Miss Jones most of the time. Blah, blah, blah. When you see Mr. Mr. Jones, this is your knife. This is your knife. And you give him some ownership. And then the other one is what? You know that Rachel Ray owns that piece of Cutco and brags about how much she loves it on her blog all the time? How many of you have heard from a female customer, especially Bryan, I don't like the big knives, they scare me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, the easiest sale in the world is Miss Jones. When you don't feel like pulling out the chef knife, you pull out your petite chopper. It's great. It has the slope front, so it's a little bit less aggressive. It's only 5 inches. So it's tiny. It's just really good for chopping, dicing, quick jobs whenever you don't want to pull out the larger chef. Okay? Here's the other thing. Here's a great line. The signature set is the smallest set that we make with the shears in the block. That's a big selling point. My mom used to keep her shears in a freaking cup of pens. Like it was like a pens and a pair of shears. And I always saw that. I was like, that's the single dumbest place for us to put it. Those just look like a regular pair of scissors. The signature set, they come right there in the block. The other thing about the signature set, it's the only set that has enough table knives for a family. It comes with 10. Do you guys know the table knife rule? Two for every family member. Okay, how many family members they have? They should have 2 times enough table knives. Okay? So the first thing is just your belief structure. And I'll tell you, that's why I have a handout for you. There's a ton of stuff I'm going to go over with you right here. And you're going to be able to read over this on your own. But I'm not covering the instructional portion because I want you to understand the biggest thing for you selling these is, number 1, the belief that you will. Number 2, the belief that people give them. And number 3, the belief in the value of the set. So I want you to write this down. Normally, a 35-piece set in stores runs $3,500. Miss Jones, normally a 35-piece set in stores runs $3,500. This is a 48-piece set. This is a 48-piece set. Now let me pause. What that means for all of you, mentally, for you don't have to write this down, but I just want you to understand this. What that means is that 35-piece set in stores, normally $3,500. 48-piece set is how much? $4,800. But Cutco is 3 times better than anything being sold in stores. So it's $4,800 in stores normally, but really it's 3 times better. So what's the value of the ultimate set? What's the value of the complete set? About 14 grand, 15 grand. The true value of the complete set is between $14,000 and $15,000. That's the value. If we sold it in stores at MSRP, manufacturer's suggested retail price, it would be 15 grand. And we sell it for $1,300 less than that 35-piece set being sold in stores. I'll tell you right now, there's not a better value in your blue book than a complete set of Cutco. Not a better value in the blue book than a complete set of Cutco. Now let's be real. Eventually, every single customer ends up, over time. People that buy Cutco, what do? Buy again. So eventually, everyone ends up owning one of 3 sets. What are those? Homemaker, signature, or complete. That's it. Everyone ends up owning one of those 3 sets eventually. The question is, do they go ahead and knock out with you and spend less, or do you let them spend more over time? Because you realize that the prices of Cutco go up every couple of years with inflation. Every 2 to 3 years, the prices increase, as does anything. So right here, right now, it's going to be the cheapest they ever get it. Okay, now, I'm going to pass out some handouts. Now, when you get this handout has 3 pages. You need to take 3 and then pass. Okay? And if you guys, some of my assistant managers, you guys can help me real quick. So we can get some to the back as well. You guys want to come up here? Let's spread the wealth here. 3 pages and pass. Also, can you help me here too, bro? 3 pages, then pass. 3 pages, then pass. Take 3 and then pass. Okay. All right. So, here, let me get one of those, Bryan. Okay, now, this handout is freaking money. Okay, like, this is worth its weight in gold. Okay? So, first of all, I covered a lot of this right here, the value of Cutco. Okay? Here's the deal. Let me give you a huge tip. And this one is about, once you get this handout, it's coming around to you right now. And you guys can just probably pass them around, let people take, just make sure that you guys know if as this comes around, just take 3 and then pass. I made 50 copies, so I think we should have enough for the group. Take 3 and then pass. Make sure that the first page that you see is the value of Cutco, and the last page you see is cookware flatware. Okay, I think we might have more than 50 people in here, though. Okay. You can look on with if you don't get one, you can look on with a partner. And we'll get you, I'll make sure that your managers get emailed this so they can print it out for you. Yeah. Also, if you were from my office and you already have this handout, you guys can pass this around to somebody else too. Okay. All right. So here's the deal. The first thing that you need in order to sell complete sets and signature sets is this. You need to write this big and bold at the top. You need knife swag. Okay? You need knife swag. Here's what I mean by that. You need to know what the hell you're talking about. Okay? You need to know what you're talking about. People like to buy from knowledgeable people. People that they can tell are experts in their field. You probably heard the saying, you don't invest with someone unless they have gray hair. You guys ever heard that before? You don't invest with someone unless they have gray hair. Why? They don't have enough knowledge in the marketplace. Someone with gray hair has what? Knowledge, experience, right? So you need to be the kitchen guru. You need to be the knife guru. You need to know the product line well enough to make suggestions for your customers. You need to be able to ask some questions to the customer, and based upon their response, you need to be able to offer suggestions on what and why you think something fits them best. Does that make sense? Okay, so in your white manuals, some of you probably never looked at these pages, but they're great pages to look at. You need to look at pages 16 through pages 20. 16 through 20. What those do is they give you a lot of information about accessories, specialty knives, flatware, cookware, things like that, garden tools, so you actually know how to talk about it. You're not just like, sometimes when reps are new, what they just do to describe everything is they call it what? Awesome. Like, yeah, this show's good. Say Toku's awesome. It's awesome. You chop with it. It's awesome. And you can't over-awesome the customer, okay? When they hear you say that over and over again, what they're really saying in their head is the person doesn't know what the hell this thing's actually using. So my tip for you is if you have not used a couple tools, you need to get into your office, ask your manager to use them, so you can have some PE, which stands for what? Personal experience. And so here's a couple key tools. In the complete set, here's a couple things that I think really sell the hell out of the complete set. A couple key tools. Number one, salmon knife. Guys, I'll tell you this. My mom has a salmon knife. Okay? And then here's a great way to sell the salmon knife. Hey, my mom has a salmon knife, Miss Jones. Miss Jones, you guys ever grill steak? You guys ever grill? You guys gonna play with me, okay? You won't play with me. You guys ever, Miss Jones, you ever grill steak? Yeah. So good, right? It's probably my favorite food. And personally, I like my steak rare. Like mooing. I like it rare. Almost Carpaccio status. Okay? I like my steak rare. And no matter how rare that steak is the first night, and how good it is that first night, you put it in the microwave the night after, and it comes out all brown and gray, and it tastes like rubber. Right? What my mom used to do, Miss Jones, she used to take that steak while it's still rare, because it's in the fridge. Then it gets hard, right? And you take the salmon knife, and with the salmon knife, make these super thin pieces of steak, super rare. You throw them in a pan with some bell peppers and some onions, and you make Philly cheesesteaks the night after. Instead of having this rubbery, gray leftover steak. Because people hear salmon knife, what do they think? Salmon. How often do I cook salmon? Very rarely. Maybe me. That's one of the things I eat salmon pretty frequently. But even maybe at most once a week, right? But when you can say this shows this is your leftover knife instead of the salmon knife, the customer sees more need and more use for the tool. Salmon knife's a key tool. Here's another key tool. Vegetable knife. Vegetable knife. I love the vegetable knife. Ms. Jones, the vegetable knife is for chopping and dicing when you're doing a lot of it at once. The chef knife is for when you're just chopping and dicing a couple quick things. But let's say you're doing a gumbo. Let's say you're making a big pot of gumbo, a big pot of stew, where you're going to chop up not just 3 or 4 carrots, but you're going to chop up 30 carrots. Instead of going one at a time, you can lay 4 down on your cutting board, Miss Jones, at a time. Hold them at the back and lay 4 across your poly prep board. Take the veggie knife and hammer it out. 4 at a time. Throw them in there. Saves you so much time, Miss Jones. Veggie knife is a key sale. There's one tool that when people look at an Ultimate, they say they're never going to use. What's that? Cleaver. Okay, you got to be able to sell the cleaver. Same as Jones. Here's the deal. You're not going to use this in the air at all. You're not. But let me ask you, Miss Jones, how often do you use a hammer? Pretty infrequently? Do you still have one? Because when you need to drive a nail, there's only one tool. What's that? And when you need to use a cleaver, there's only one tool to use. You know what that is? And that's why we have it in the set. You're going to use this going through some brisket, right through a rack of ribs. Okay? This cleaver, I mean, heck, Mission, it weighs 1.5 pounds. If you wanted to, you can go cut down trees outside with it. And it's guaranteed forever, so that'd be okay. Okay, you gotta make sure you sell the cleaver. You also need to sell, if you want to sell the Ultimate, you need to sell how small it is the same way as you sell the Homemaker and how small it is. Because if people look at the complete set, they're like, man, that thing is huge, they're not gonna get it. You need to talk about how small it is. Like, yeah, Ms. Jones, I know this thing looks like the size of a microwave while it's here on my book. I know it looks like the size of a microwave, but actually it fits on an 8x11 sheet of paper. It's tiny. I know it looks like the size of a microwave in my blue book here, but it's really tiny. It fits on an 8x11 sheet of paper. It's super small. Okay? Now, I'll tell you, some managers and some CSPs will tell you that every single customer needs an Ultimate set. I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't agree that the Ultimate set is the right set for everyone. I think it's the right set for larger families and people that love to cook. But do you know what set I think everyone needs? Signature. I think every single home in America should have a signature set. Every single one. Every single home in America should have a signature set. And you need to ask some questions in order to gauge what the customer is going to use the set for, okay? So here's a couple really good questions to ask when leading into your names and uses section to start to be able to tailor the presentation and figure out which set you feel like is going to be best for your customer, okay? Now, let me pause real quick. What did I just say? Yeah. Best set for who? Understand this about sales. Anyone who's a great sales rep in whatever industry that they're in is a great sales rep because they are there for their customer, not for themselves. I'll just tell you right now, you have to be there for the client. That is who you do the demo for. Okay? So, real simple, guys. Here's what it comes down to. A couple questions that you ask. Ms. Jones, number one. This is what I would say. After you go over Forever Guarantee, I would say, Ms. Jones, in order to kind of be able to tailor what I think the best set for you and your family is, can I ask you some questions? What's she going to say? Yeah. So first question, Ms. Jones, out of 21 meals, how many of them do you prepare from home per week? Out of 21 meals, how many of them do you prepare from home per week? Why do I ask that instead of how many nights a week you cook? Bigger number. Because I'm going to get a bigger number. Right? Most people cook breakfast. Most people with kids, guess what they do? Cook breakfast from home. That's at least 5 nights out. That's at least 5 meals right there. Now, they may not do lunch at all, but families probably do dinner 3 or 4 nights a week. By the way, just so you guys know what average, let's talk about average real quick. Do you know how many nights a week the average family cooks in America? 2 to 3. So you might have customers who are like, oh, Bryan, we never cook. We only cook 2 or 3 nights a week. You're like, actually, that's average. That's what most people cook. Okay? So, Ms. Jones, out of 21 meals, how many of them do you prepare from home? Okay? Now, if they prepare 7 or less meals from home, what set of cooking probably are you going to tailor it to them? Probably a homemaker. If they prepare 14 or more from home, what are you going to show them? You're going to probably show them either the signature or the complete set. Now, a couple more questions will help you figure out which one, okay? So how next week do you cook from home? Okay, number 2. Miss Jones, you cook because you like to, have to, or love to? Why do you think I say like to first? Because many times she's going to answer that first. Many times they're going to answer whatever the first option you give them is going to be their answer. Miss Jones, do you cook because you like to, have to, or love to? Like to comes first. What's she probably going to say? Like to. She might say, though, what? Love to. She might say have to. Third question. Miss Jones, when you're cooking, is there anyone else in the family that helps you in the kitchen? Or is it just you? Is there anyone else that helps you in the kitchen, or is it just you? Because here's the deal. If mom and dad both, like, how many of you know a family who mom and dad both love to cook? Those are ultimate. Those should be ultimate sets all day long. Now, my family, I'll tell you this. My dad, that man cannot cook to save his life.
Butter noodles is about it.
That's about it. I mean, he literally, one time he put popcorn, that's right where Chris got it from. One time he put popcorn in the microwave for 15 minutes long. I shit you not. The microwave caught on fire.
What an idiot. Who would do that?
Chris cooked rice for 15 minutes once. And he might in a plastic container. Not a glass dish. A plastic container. The whole house smelled like shit for a week.
On fire, it's like just black in there.
It was horrible. It literally was horrible. So, if they have like their daughter who enjoys to help them, right? Or their son, or their husband who enjoys to help them in the kitchen, they definitely need a complete set, or at least a signature, because they need to be able to give them the knife to use while they're using the other one, right? Let's say that they have someone that likes to help them they're chopping vegetables. Well, if there's only one chopping knife, like that comes in a homemaker, like one chef knife, the other person shit out a lot, right? But if they have a signature set, Miss Jones can be using her petite chopper while Mr. Jones uses what? French chef, right? Or the hearty slicer. Does that make sense? Here's another one. Miss Jones, you ever have Miss Jones, you entertain a little bit? What did I just ask? You ever tune in a little bit? Why did I ask that? Because you know what they're going to say? Yeah, a little bit. Sometimes. If you ask, do you entertain, what's the answer going to be? Most times. No. But you go, do you entertain a little bit? What are you going to say? What are they going to say? Yeah, a little bit. Like, do you ever have that one guest who shows up like an hour early? Yes. Just give them this 4-inch paring knife, Miss Jones, and tell them to cut some stuff. The 4-inch paring knife comes from the complete set. Right? Okay, so it's about having that confidence. Now, if you guys look with me, it says ask a lot of questions. The more questions you ask, the more tailored the presentation is. One thing I do want you to put a star next to in your notes, if you have this handout here, is your 5 main groups of knives. If you want to sell complete sets, get that down. 5 main groups. Every day, vegetable knives, meat knives, bread and cake, and barbecue and grilling knives. Now, the last thing I'm going to teach you, and then I'm going to turn it over to Larry, is this. How to close. Okay, and Harrison has not taught you this. So even if you were in a Dropping Bombs workshop, if you're from South Charles, you need to pay attention to the way to close. I learned this from a man named Andy Jonty. Andy, by the way, is going to be speaking at SC2. And here's how you ask for the order. You narrow down which 2 sets are going to fit your customer best. Right? Signature or the complete, homemaker or the signature. It's one of those 2. It's either the signature or the complete, or the homemaker or the signature. And when you're asking for the order, what you do is this. Watch up here. You say, so Ms. Jones, do you want to get the homemaker set or the signature set? Just like offering times, when you give someone a choice between 2 things, what do? They choose one of them typically. It's called option closing. So watch my nonverbals though. So Ms. Jones, do you want to get the basic set or the signature set? Right? Do you want to get Ms. Jones, do you want to get the signature set or the complete set? Very simple. Okay? I want you to review this handout. Now, the tip I will give you before I turn over to Larry is slowly implement the information you learned during this meeting. It's very easy to implement things like asking questions. The 3 questions before going into pages 7 and 8. Those are easy things to implement. So look over this on your ride home tonight. This handout will help you drop some serious bombs. Guys, I'll tell you this. Your belief structure and your expectation is what creates everything, which is why I spent the majority of the time talking about that. So, tying that into the SC2 push, you have got to believe. Let me give you the equation to have a killer push. Extraordinary effort. Extraordinary effort plus unwavering faith equals push miracles. Extraordinary effort plus unwavering faith equals push miracles. Let's have a killer SC2 push.
So, Big Dog.
Yeah, but
Did you tell the Sam Tibbetts story yet?
not.
So Sam Tibbetts was a sales rep that summer? Or?
She was a brand new sales rep that summer.
Tell these guys how she...
So Sam Tibbetts, it's an 18-day push, keep in mind. First week, she's out of town for part of it, and then she sells about $500 over like 3 or 4 days. Then she's in town for the whole next week, and she sells about $700.
The whole week?
The whole week. She's doing demos. She's coming to the office every morning. Her goal is to sell $10,000. So out of the 18 days, she goes in with only 4 days left. And after 14 days of the push, she had only sold $1,200.
What's her goal?
Her goal is 10 grand. The last 4 days, she ends up putting up 7 grand. The last 4 selling days. But you know what? That'll still put her short of her goal. I think she, like coming to the office the next morning, she had to sell $1,200 in the car. And you know whose car she was in? Mine. Actually, I was in her car. I drove her car. I said, Sam, we're going to drive your car. I'm going to drive it. You're going to phone Jam. You're going to phone Jam for orders. She said, okay, let's do it.
It's her first summer, so it's not like she has customers from 2 years ago.
Called someone, first person that she picks up. They're like, no, Sam, we don't want to help you. We don't want anything else. I'm like, call another. She calls another, sells a pocket knife. Calls another, sells an Essentials Plus 5. Calls 2 more folks and sells them 4-piece table knife sets, back to back. And then the last demo, I'm like, Sam, who can you call? Who can we call and sell a basic homemaker to? Who can we call and sell us a galley set to? And you saw the light bulb go off. She made the phone call. We're literally pulling into Roanoke, Virginia off the exit. We're less than 10 miles away from the hotel. She makes the call, sells a galley, bonuses a couple things. She ends up putting about $1,600 up in the car. Sam ends up hitting her goal by $2, $10,002. Unwavering faith, because for 14 days, she had sold $1,200 total. I said, Sam, don't worry about it. It's a foregone conclusion. You're going to do it. And she ended up finishing over $2 past her goal. And that's the mindset of a champion. Extraordinary effort plus unwavering faith equals push time miracles. Make your story this SC2 push. Make sure that you're the person that we share this story with next year.
I remember about 5 years ago, Flip, were you around when, who was the guy that, blonde-haired guy, real funny dude, like a comedian guy, and he needed like $4 grand.
Ian Azer?